The first tea bushes of commercial quantity were planted in Sri Lanka by James Taylor, at Lulekandera Estate in Lower Hewahita in the Kandy district, in 1867. Since then, following the coffee blight in the mid-1800s, all of the coffee which was grown in the mid and high-grown district has been replaced with tea. Initially, when land was allocated to the British people, when Sri Lanka was a colony of the United Kingdom, the jungles were cleared and burnt down and tea seedlings were planted in rows up and down the hillsides. The old seedling tea took many years to reach maturity and provide adequate ground cover and was very low yielding. With research and development after World War II, the seedling tea planted was of selected variety and produced higher yields. Yet, even the best seedling tea could manage to produce at best only around 1,250 kilograms per hectare with the introduction of chemical fertilizing, which was not available until the early 1900s. In the early 1950s, tea was planted using vegetative propagated (VP) cuttings grown in tea nurseries as against direct planting of tea seeds in the field. In simple terms, vegetative propagated means tea cuttings which consist of a 1 inch to 1.5 long stalk planted in individual baskets, now in polythene seals, filled with earth. Land preparation. Prior to planting of tea, the land must be cleared of existing growth, be it old tea, jungle or bare land. This is followed by deep forking the land to the depth of 18 inches to 24 inches, by which all old roots and stones are removed and the land leveled. After leveling, lateral and leader drains are cut to prevent erosion caused by heavy rains. Rehabilitation of the soil is achieved by planting Guatemala or mana grass, which is sustained for at least 2 years. This grass is fertilized twice a year with a special grass fertilizer and lopped regularly, twice a year, and provide 10 to 15 tons of mulch per lopping, which enhances fertilizing of tilts of the ground. Planting of tea. While the prepared land is under rehabilitation, a nursery of tea plants is nurtured 1 year prior to planting. Planting would generally need to take place during the monsoon so that there is adequate moisture for the tea plant in its first 1 to 6 months after being planted. The tea plant growth phase requires it to be trained for the next 2 to 3 years through regular fertilization and selective trimming to develop its frame into becoming a mature tea bush. Tea plants could be selected from various clones to suit the requirements of the locality and also that of the grower, such as yield, agroclimatic conditions, type of land, quality of the tea product itself, etc. Generally, the new clonal tea could yield 4,000 to 5,000 kilograms per hectare in Sri Lankan conditions and in the virgin soils of Africa and Indonesia. Production can even be as high as 10,000 to 12,000 kilograms per hectare. Harvesting. When the bush develops and a complete ground cover is established, which would take 2 to 3 years depending on the climatic conditions and elevation, the tea bushes could be harvested on a regular basis, which is approximately once in 8 to 10 days. The following potential of the tea plant would be achieved only after it receives its second prune and should continue for around 30 to 40 years. Pruning is carried out on a regular basis, once in every 3 to 5 years depending on the growing conditions which are related to elevation and climatic conditions.